Hi everyone, I'm Peter Marino, the architect who supervised the renovation of Coco Chanel's La Pausa. I designed the landscape of the property. This villa was designed by Mademoiselle Chanel herself. She used a local architect to do the construction drawings, and the design is very much based on the convent in which she grew up. It's here in Roquebrune, the south of France, with extraordinary views of the Mediterranean. This project lasted 5 years. I had the first year spent doing the design of the restoration of the house and the gardens. The second year was really all about getting permissions, and then we had 3 years of construction. The garden now is precisely as I imagined it. Very free brushstrokes of color, and the olive trees restored to health, and large areas of green that have become almost part of abstract paintings. It's very, very close to my imagination and completely my vision. I began the creative process here by looking at historical photographs. There's quite a reserve in the Chanel archive. The process began, oh my God, that's what it looked like when she was alive. It was interesting because from 35 to 37 to 39, there were changements that she made every few years, but also for the feeling, the sentiment of the house and the life that was there. The photos are great to see who she had as guests. Salvador Dali, pianist Stravinsky. The whole history was fascinating for me. I think it has a very strong link to her philosophy of fashion. This house with its convent-like simple 3 arches, absolutely without any decoration, no trim, no stucco moulure, nothing, is extremely like the modernity of her dresses. I think philosophically, it's completely the same. Not only do you have the very toughness of these arches, I mean, it's a very strict modernity, obviously based on the convent in which she grew up. I tried to make the gardens feel somewhat textured as the cloths that she invented for the simplicity of her designs. I think the architecture and the garden very, very, very strongly reflect her fashion sensibility. What Chanel got really intrinsically was, this has absolutely nothing to do with Paris. This is a life apart. This is a life that's south of France. This is a life with the Duke of Westminster, and I appreciate that about her. In the south of France, you have to respect its native feeling. I think this one does it to the max. The gardens feel kind of sculptural. You know, Paris, she was always into camellias and leaves. She particularly said she liked leaves that moved and flowers that moved. Here it was more about sculptural forms and plants that thrived on heat and dryness. So she was really big on lavender and liked the spring bloom of irises. So many of the views were blocked by trees that had grown inordinately large and that weren't native. So the process of eliminating what blocked the views, putting trees where you feel nature might have planted them themselves. The olive trees had a pestilence, and you couldn't put new ones in. So what we did is we had to reorganize ones from the property in a way that would look good. You couldn't really bring any new ones in. And they're looking much healthier than when the property was first purchased. We took out certain trees that were not at all native, certain eucalyptus and things that really didn't belong, because we were trying for a genuine south of France look that would have been there in the 30s when Chanel came. As you know, it was a depression. People weren't spending lavishly on anything, so it had to be somewhat minimal. She did put some of the cypresses in, which we gathered together in clusters. I'm a cluster mounding person. I'm not into freestanding. The great fun, and to show you how kind of love and appreciation of gardens, was the olive tree in the path to the front door, which she didn't dream of moving. Or originally in the courtyard, there was a huge olive tree that she built the house around. And that says a lot to me. Sometimes when I get new sites from new clients and they go, of course, you've got to move all the trees. And I go, of course, you've got to get another architect. In the south of France, what's great about it is the courtyard with the sun is hot, but there's loggias all around which cool it, so the direct sun never goes into the room. Very well designed by her. The glass doors were a later invention. When she first had the house, the first 2 years they weren't there. And she added them because I think some of the breezes from the sea got rather strong, but they are in later photos in her lifetime, because it was all open at the original. Then here she liked things that were more rigid and sculptural, like the wonderful monstera cacti in the lobby, which became my favorite plant in the whole world when we started doing this. I bought a giant one, taller than you and me, and it's sitting in my office. It's hilarious. It's like an 11-foot cactus. The terrace extension came when the doors came, because, every year or two she would add things like everyone does with a house. It was originally just here, and then she extended it out there. Owners after her extended the terrace double the size, which I thought was a really bad scale, and we removed the large extension of the terrace. And they planned, if you can believe it, in very grand style, stairs that went down to the road, which we immediately removed. The garden furniture is completely modern. I found that furniture from the garden in the 1930s is a bit rickety and rusted, so it's all modern. Remember, our photographs from the period in the archives are black and white. That's a little bit of me that I allowed myself to do, saying, listen, Mademoiselle Chanel, I don't know what colors you might have used, but I'm going to bring a little bit of my own into this project. There was a tennis court now because she did play tennis to stay in shape. It's one of my favorite sports. I play doubles. I'm a little ancient for singles, so I do doubles. My style of landscape design, it's not typically French, where things would be very organized and all on an axis. It's not typically English, where you would have a lawn with beautifully placed trees, and that's all. As an American, I actually feel I have an American aesthetic, which is a combination of very naturalistic planting mixed with rigorous axes and paths that take you on a certain journey. And I call that American landscape design. And funnily enough, I feel I've had a little influence here in that direction. La Pausa, it's a wonderful name. I think the name really conveys what this place does to you as an artist. Don't all of us need a pause in life to create something? My imagination of how a day might have been spent in the 1930s, I'm going to assume that everybody had a very grasse matinée and certainly didn't get up too early. You had breakfast in your room. I think that people did a lot of reading at this property. I think in the afternoon people might have played tennis. And I think you could have gone and taken a walk to the ocean and gone swimming. I think it was quite a healthy lifestyle, but also rigorously intellectual. I could see Mademoiselle Chanel recommending to me 3 books to read before I went to sleep. I could imagine hearing new piano concertos by Stravinsky before dinner. I could imagine quite jolly singing after dinner. People looked so blessedly happy in the photos. You can only be that happy when you're not worried about something else. This is a place where it's very odd. You're not worried about something else when you're here. And I don't know too many places on earth you could say that.